So here's a great question that I got asked. What are some common bank required repairs? And so what does that mean, right? Bank required repairs. Well, when you try to get money in the form of a mortgage to purchase a home, sometimes banks get involved, right? And they say, okay, the home has to have certain required repairs in order for us to move forward. And how they figure that out is when they have an appraiser come out. That appraiser identifies things that might be a hazard. And so many of these repairs actually apply to FHA mortgages because that's government backed, as well as VA. But what I've seen in my career is that even a conventional loan, right, your average 30-year fixed loan, the bank can actually require a repair on those loans as well. Something identified in the appraisal process. So here's some, okay? First off, peeling paint. A lot of times they want peeling paint to be patched up or repainted over, right, sanded down. That's a common required repair, peeling paint. The next one is concealing any exposed wiring. You can't have exposed wiring no matter what type of mortgage you get. You can't have wires just, hanging around being exposed, whether it's from the electrical junction box or just from a light switch that doesn't have the front on it, right? That doesn't have the switch on it or the plug on it. You can't have exposed wiring. Broken gutters. Broken gutters, it can also lead to, other things that they flag. For example, maybe broken siding, things that are somewhat of a hazard. Broken gutters can cause damage to the roof and cause the wood to rot or water to get into the home and get built up. Missing handrails. This is the most common, especially with an FHA mortgage. You have to have a handrail if your porch or deck or whatever patio is a certain height. And so you have to have a handrail. And this is a funny thing, I've seen homeowners, to pacify the bank, they've actually built just a 2x4 handrail, just really quick. But it's sturdy and it passes the required repair requirement from the bank. So pretty interesting. So it doesn't have to be a fancy handrail. Broken windows or doors. You can't have doors that are broken, windows that are smashed or broken or don't even work. For one, that could be a fire hazard, right? If you have a fire in the home and you can't get out the window, that could be a hazard. Which leads me to the next one, is health or safety hazards. So safety hazards or anything that involves a hazard to one's health, the bank will flag that. Actually, the bank's appraiser will flag that, and the bank won't move forward unless it's addressed. And I want to share with you an example of this. So let's say you have a garage door, and a garage door doesn't have those sensors on the bottom that run a beam across. So when you go to close the garage door, if something like a kid or a human or some object goes through that beam, the garage door doesn't stop, it just keeps going. That's dangerous, actually. All garage doors should have sensors. But if an appraiser spots that, and they will, a good appraiser will, then that's a safety hazard, right? That can actually kill somebody, can actually crush somebody to death. So that's something that they'll want to see, and the homeowner, the seller, might have to put those sensors in. More likely they won't. So this list is more extensive because, again, it applies mostly to an FHA mortgage. However, any mortgage you get is going to look for like health or safety hazards, or exposed wiring will affect any type of loan that you get. So, and of course, states and banks can also set their own requirements. They can have their own requirement because they're lending you money and they have the power. Okay, so always check with actually ask your agent, if you have an agent. Check with them, or just basically do a Google search for common required repairs and make sure that your home is up to par before selling it. So I hope you found this episode valuable. I invite you to follow me on social media. Those links are in the description below, and visit my website. That's my old website, JasonGelios.com. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you.